Guess what? There's a massive heat wave making its way across parts of the U.S. this weekend. And if you're one of the thousands of people who will be taking refuge indoors with some air conditioning, we have some shows for you to stream while you beat the heat. We've got a show about some misfits on a wrestling team in the 1980s, a mini-series based on a scandal involving a British politician, and a documentary focusing on LGBTQ issues. So here to take us through it all is streaming guru and TV Guide features editor Krutika Mallikarjuna. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So the first one is Glow, and it's back.
Indeed.
If you don't know about Glow, I think we should just play it first so people can get a sense of what it is. There you go. Play it.
Exciting stuff. Feels a little different around here. And we got a few men in the gym finally.
Woo! Hubba hubba.
All right, don't distract them. They have work to do.
I'm excited. Aren't you excited?
My costume still smells like beer and racism.
Was I supposed to wash these? You have a good break?
Yeah.
She's getting divorced. It's complicated.
Usually you do a lot better job of keeping your weird friendship stuff out of the ring.
Just hope she can keep up.
You're on that show, right? Glow, welfare queen. What'd you call my mom?
It's a wrestling show. I'm not the only offensive character. Everyone's offensive.
We have fans. I mean, the girls get letters. There's weirdos waiting outside for them.
Wait.
You're my favorite.
I can see that.
That is hilarious. The gorgeous ladies of wrestling back for season 2. If you're a fan of the show, what can you expect?
So if you loved season 1, I would say everything you loved in season 1 is bigger and better and bolder in season 2. Season 1 was really like laying the groundwork of these sort of origin stories of how these women came together, this disparate group came together to create something like weird and wild and fantastical.
Right.
And now that in season 2 they've garnered a little bit of fame, and they have a, super late night cable spot between like 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. and they're putting together a real TV show. They are putting a lot of pride and effort into this work, and that's bringing the competition up to a whole nother level on season 2.
And bringing the creepy fans out as well, it seems.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about a mini-series starring Hugh Grant. It's on Amazon. It's based on this crazy scandal that happened in the UK. Let's take a look at this.
You're the youngest man to lead a British political party in more than a century.
It is my duty to enrich our lives for generations to come. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Be careful now, because I'm not sure any boy's worth ending up in prison. He's perfected the art of hiding in plain sight.
I'm left on my own all day. What am I supposed to do?
But maybe it's time you thought about moving on. Mormon?
I've come to tell you about my homosexual relations with Jeremy Thorpe.
You will destroy me and the party and my marriage.
I will be heard and I will be seen.
There is only one way for us to survive. Norman Scott has got to die.
Oh my goodness. This looks really good.
It's very scandalous. I mean, it's based on a true life story, and I honestly think this is my favorite Hugh Grant performance of all time.
Really?
And that is really
he's had
saying
some good
something.
ones. Yeah.
Coming from me, who's watched Bridget Jones's Diary more times than I can count.
Right.
He's just like so cold and closed off in this that it like takes a sort of whole other turn.
So if you're already familiar with this story, will you still like watching the series?
Definitely. It's a very like dark comedy, I would say.
The way the Brits do it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things where even if you read all the stories, like the emotion that comes out, incredible.
Okay, so now we have finally an HBO documentary. It's about the LGBTQ community, but youth, right? Young people.
Yes, specifically in the Mormon community.
All right, let's take a look.
I don't know that I can think of many more opposite worlds than that of a rock star and that of a Mormon missionary. I was told this was Dan Reynolds. Love your music. I'm struggling a lot with self-acceptance because of my sexuality. I have no idea if you support same-sex marriage since you are a Mormon, but if you do support it, thank you a lot, and it means the world to me.
Everyone is made the way that they are, and I was made to be gay.
When I came out, he was like, no, it's just a devil, and he slapped me really hard.
He just didn't feel safe in a place that he should have felt the safest.
All right, so that's Dan Reynolds. He's the lead singer of Imagine Dragons. He's a Mormon. Is he sort of your guide through this documentary?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I originally heard about this, I was a little put off by it because it's an LGBTQ story as told through the lens of an ally.
Right.
Dan is straight, he's married, he has beautiful kids, and I was like, I don't know if this is the right time and place for it, but it's such a sincere journey of watching him learn, and he is so curious and genuinely wants to do good for his own community and like battle the fact that in Utah, the main reason for youth death is suicide.
Well, you know, we talked about the fact that Dan has struggled with depression, and I wonder if he found, you know, some common ground. You've seen the statistics on young people who are in part of the LGBT community, and they're struggling with depression. Suicide rates are particularly high, and I wonder if he saw sort of a common place for him to open a conversation, you know?
Definitely. I mean, I would never want to speak to his experience, but at least in the documentary, it seems like as someone who has gone through a deep emotional thing himself where, you know, prayer wasn't the only way to help himself, that he understands that there are resources and there is a conversation that needs to happen, especially within the church, to, you know, extend that sense of community outward.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Krutika, you've given us a lot of options if you want to stay inside and stay cool. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.